All right, so you're looking around the Knoxville real estate market, but you're after something with, a true community feel. Well, your search has probably led you right to Powell, Tennessee. And today, we're giving you the 2026 Insider's Briefing, breaking down what's really happening on the ground in this unique corner of East Tennessee.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures what makes Powell so special. See, this isn't about flashy new developments. It's about a stable, established lifestyle that really offers the best of both worlds. You get that suburban piece, but with super easy access to the city. That combination is the secret sauce. It's the foundation of its appeal.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to dig into why Powell is such a quiet gem. Then, we'll take the market's polls for 2026. After that, we'll explore what's really driving supply and prices, see how buyers and sellers are changing their game, and we'll wrap it all up with a solid forecast for what's ahead.
So let's kick things off with that fundamental question. Why Powell? I mean, what's the big deal? The answer goes way beyond just data and spreadsheets. It's about a specific kind of lifestyle, one that combines convenience, community, and a sense of place that's getting harder and harder to find these days.
The Powell advantage is really all about the mix. You get that classic suburban feel, but you're just a short drive from all the energy of downtown Knoxville. Plus, you've got incredible outdoor spots like Norris Lake and the Clinch River right in your backyard. Add in a genuine community vibe and, well, you've got a powerful recipe for long-term, stable demand.
Now let's switch gears and take the market's pulse for 2026. The big story here isn't a crash or a boom. Nope, it's a healthy and frankly much needed shift away from the absolute frenzy of the past few years. We're talking about a return to normal.
But, and this is a really big but, let's be crystal clear, normalization does not mean it's a buyer's market, not by a long shot. Powell is still what we call a seller-leaning market. It's simple, really. There are just more people who want to buy here than there are homes available. So sellers still hold a pretty solid advantage, even as things calm down.
This comparison just illustrates that shift perfectly. We've gone from that hyper-competitive, frankly chaotic environment to one where buyers are being more measured, more strategic. Inspections are back. Negotiation is possible again. People are making thoughtful decisions, not reactive ones. And that's not a sign of a weak market, folks. That is the sign of a healthier market.
So what forces are actually shaping this new normal? In this next part, we're going to break down the key drivers that are affecting what's for sale and how much it costs in Powell.
This is the question on every single buyer's mind, right? Not just in Powell, but pretty much everywhere. And it's the perfect way to start talking about the single biggest factor influencing this market: limited inventory. And there you have it, the direct answer. Powell is, by its very nature, a supply-constrained market. This isn't just some temporary blip. It's a fundamental characteristic of the whole area.
So why is that? I'll think about it. Powell isn't a place with massive new subdivisions popping up everywhere. It's defined by its established neighborhoods, the ones with the mature trees, the bigger lots, and a whole lot of people who have lived there for a very long time. Now that stability is fantastic for property values, but it also naturally limits how many homes actually come up for sale.
Because of that limited supply, prices are definitely still appreciating, but the trend has totally changed. We moved away from those explosive double-digit price spikes of a couple years ago. What we're seeing now is appreciation that's much more stable, healthy, and sustainable for the long run. So why does this matter to you? Well, if you're a homeowner, it means you're building solid equity without the wild swings of an overheated market. And if you're a buyer, it means that while you'll still face some competition, you're investing in an asset that has a proven track record of stable, long-term growth.
And we absolutely cannot talk about stability without mentioning this critical factor. The strong school zones in Powell act as a powerful anchor for the entire market. I mean, even buyers who don't have kids understand that good schools protect resale value. That keeps demand consistently high and really shields the area from major market downturns.
Okay, so we get the market forces. Now let's talk about the people actually in the game. How have buyers and sellers changed their strategies to navigate this new environment? It's a whole new playbook out there. Today's buyer is just smarter. They're more strategic. They're taking their time, they're bringing back critical protections like inspection contingencies, and they are not afraid to negotiate, especially on a property that needs some updates. They're doing the math on potential renovation costs before they even make an offer. And this has created a really interesting choice for buyers. Do you go for the new construction with its modern efficiency and less maintenance right away, or do you pick an established home in Powell for those mature trees, the bigger yard, and that sense of character? In 2026, buyers are carefully weighing these trade-offs.
So who are these buyers? Well, as you can see, a huge portion, 40%, are people relocating to East Tennessee, drawn by the quality of life. Another 30% are specifically looking for acreage and privacy. Then we see a good number of local move-up buyers from Knoxville looking for more space, plus a smaller but steady group of investors.
Okay, let's bring it all home and look ahead. What can we expect for the rest of 2026 and beyond? Well, the theme remains consistent, steady, and strong.
Here's the key takeaway for the forecast. Don't expect dramatic swings. The market's going to remain stable. Yeah, interest rate changes will cause little ripples in activity, but the core factors, that limited supply and strong demand from things like schools and lifestyle, those aren't changing. The long-term fundamentals for Powell remain incredibly strong.
And that brings us to a final, really crucial insight. Powell isn't the flashiest market in the area. And you know what? That is precisely its greatest strength. Its balance and its sustainability are what create real, lasting value over time.
So as we wrap up, the final question is really for you. In a market that prizes stability over speculation and community over hype, how do your own goals align with what Powell has to offer?